Hello all. Right. My scarf there. It's super wet everywhere. I'm just by kind of like a stream and a bridge. The highway is right there, quite close. Just for a walk with my dog. My scarf. Look at my leaf. Isn't that beautiful? I don't like fall because it's not summer, but the leaves are nice. It's a nice big one. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about is 5 reasons, hello whoever joined me, why you tend to gain weight in midlife. My friend and me were talking last night, and she came up with belly bulge, right? We're not putting down anybody, but it's kind of true what happens. And so I thought that was such a funny term. Like, I've been there, she's there right now. I mean, oh my God, right? And it is, of course, about loving yourself and loving your body, of course, and putting the focus on health. But for people who are going through it, the midlife women are kind of like, what is going on? Like, what used to work doesn't work anymore, and I can't seem to lose this weight. It's very stubborn. No matter what I do, I can't lose it, right? So I just wanted to shed a bit of light on what's going on. 5 reasons. Number 1, hormones. So when your hormones fluctuate like this in midlife, and it can start... I mean, our hormones are kind of always fluctuating, right? And they're kind of they're the chemicals that control our body, a lot of the organs and the functions of our body. So during midlife, we kind of just mainly focus with the estrogen, talk about progesterone and testosterone, right? So what is happening is that your ovaries are producing less estrogen, and so your adrenal glands can produce hormones, and they do. The problem is that if you, excuse me, if you're under consistent stress, and usually women are in this midlife phase because our lives are always busy. So when you go from having a busy life, but yet your hormones are kind of balanced, not bad, and then all of a sudden the midlife change happens and they're like all over the place, then that screws things up. You feel more stressed and you feel more overwhelmed, and plus you might not be sleeping well. So your hormones, what happens is your adrenal glands, if they get tired and they can't produce the hormones, your body puts fat around your midsection because the fat can produce hormones. So why you keep gaining around the midsection is also because your adrenal glands are not functioning as they could or should, as well as, like I said, your ovaries are producing less estrogen. So you've kind of got all these things happening. So number 1, it's definitely hormones that are causing this. Now, does it end? Yes, our hormones do regulate better. How long does this perimenopause phase start where you're going through such a hormone fluctuation? Different for everyone. I started at the age of 42, 43. My period was completely over for more than by the age of 48. Now, you're linking, I don't want to do it for that many years, 6 years or whatever. But it's not always the same throughout those years. So note, that's probably what's going on is your hormonal fluctuation. Therefore, you're getting weight in the midsection. Number 2 reason is the stress. Because like I mentioned, if your adrenal glands are stressed out, if they're tired, if they're not functioning properly, they cannot do the job of producing the hormones. So they are unable to kind of help balance your body. So there again, your body puts fat in the midsection because you are stressed. Now, there's a few things, right? Stress is good stress and bad stress, but to your body, it's stress. So if somebody was, in the past, what worked for them was exercising like crazy if they gained weight, right? Like just getting on the treadmill, going, doing weights, like exhausting themselves, running, doing all that, right? That's what you're used to. And you're like, see, I can lose weight by doing that. When you try it in midlife, at this phase, when your adrenal glands are already getting tired, that just puts more stress on your body, and that stress is going to fatigue even more your adrenal glands, and so therefore they cannot do their job. Therefore you need more fat around your midsection so that you can help producing the estrogen to help balance your body, right? Make sure my dog's not eating rabbit poo. So that's a very important one, and I'd say most women do not understand the effects of stress and how serious it is. And what needs to be done is you must find ways of decreasing your stress, because you will not release the weight if you're stressed. Even though you're feeling like, well, I've always had this much in my life. It's always been this way. I don't think I feel that stressed. The issue is, you probably are. You probably are. It's such a way of living for you. You're used to it. So when we're used to it, it doesn't feel, that's all we know, right? That's all we know. So it's really about also now starting to change some things up in your life, right? That is truly what's needed. You need to do that. Number 3 reason why, people, it's the food. You're not eating the right foods for this phase of life. For hormones, our hormones really require minerals. You need a lot more minerals, vitamins, all of those things, good healthy fats to feed your body properly so it can do its job properly. Now, when we were younger, we were able to get away with a whole bunch of things in our 20s and 30s and even early 40s. And you could eat, you know, you're probably like, I could eat a whole bunch of potatoes. I could eat French fries. I'd just go for a run. I'd just work out. I'd do fine. But it's not that case anymore. Our body processes carbohydrates differently. So at this phase, so when you eat things like French fries or potato chips or potatoes or a lot of squash or a lot of beans and lentils, especially if you're vegan, and breads, even gluten-free, your body puts that right to fat. Poof. You could also end up with digestive issues, which cause bloating, which cause constipation, which also makes your belly expand, right? So then you're like, oh, I'm bloated all the time. I'm retaining water, which is a big one at this phase of life. You retain a lot of water. I mean, if you think about what you went through in adolescence and then what some of the things you went through when you were pregnant, and those all have to do with hormones, right? So we can experience, and we do experience so many of those things. The emotional up and downs, which are crazy, which also, when we're already kind of stressed, and then we have these fluctuating emotions, we feel like we're going crazy, we're so over emotional, and then that causes more stress on us, right? And so that just helps to contribute to more of the weight gain, not losing the weight. So we've got the hormones, the stress, your food, not eating the right kinds of foods, not giving up some of the foods. So there's certain foods that you probably shouldn't eat anymore, but it's really about bringing in way more of the foods you should. And then the other ones will kind of, fall away, right? And it's not just junk food too. We're talking some real foods just have to be changed at this phase of life. Now, number 4 is toxins. So toxins are stored in our fat. And when we have a buildup of toxins in our body, what happens is our body wants to take those toxins because they're not good for our body. They can maybe cause illness and disease and sickness and all that. So the body wraps the toxins in fat, like it stores the toxins in the fat tissue. So we need that fat as long as we have those toxins in our body. So that's what it's doing. So if you're like a person who's like, I just can't lose these last 10 pounds. I just can't, no matter what I do. It's probably most likely you need to do some sort of a cleanse because your body is full of these toxins. It's holding on to the fat. So it's like if a house had a lot of garbage, they'd need a lot of garbage bags, right? Garbage bins. When the house started recycling and started composting, you wouldn't need as many garbage cans, right? So it's your body true. The least toxins you bring in, the less fat you need to store the toxins. Only makes sense, right? Now, where are these toxins? Well, we're talking read all canned food, read all packaged food, read all potato chips, read all tortilla chips, read chocolate bars, read all of those things. Those contain preservatives, additives, colorings, natural flavors, which are not natural at all. They just are meant to taste natural. Anything that you can't pronounce, you're not sure what it is, often those are additives, preservatives, colorings, thickeners, all of that stuff. And that your body cannot metabolize because it's not real food. So you're supposed to be taking in real food so that our body can break it down. Well, if it can't break it down, what's it going to do with it? It's like styrofoam. If you have styrofoam in your garbage, it's not going to decompose. It's going to sit there forever. Toxins in your body. If you don't get rid of those toxins, it's going to sit there, you guys. And the worst thing is that it will make you sicker, right? So that's how important it is. Now, there are various ways to cleanse, to detox, and everything like that. But you can also do nutritional cleanses, it's called. Like, I'm not with Isogenics, but I mean, Isogenics has a good one. Or there's this patch that will help you detoxify too. So there's really good ones out there. You just have to do some research. But I tell you, once you know and once you do, like I went on a high raw diet, and that helped my body to completely detoxify. Now, I was high raw for a year and a half, so it's not like something's going to work in a week or 2 weeks, right? Nothing's magic. Nothing's, it's not, I mean, if you take something that works that fast, it's probably not real and it's probably not very good for you, right? So you need to get those toxins out of your body. That's very, very important. And then number 5 is, number 5 is actually usually what I find is women don't eat or drink the right things first thing in the morning. And that makes a huge difference. So they're not focusing on nutrients, they're focusing on protein and bulk. Like, so I need to eat something to fill myself up, and oh my God, I need protein. Now, protein's not bad. Amino acids are the building blocks to protein. We can get amino acids in all foods, in mostly all foods. So it's not like protein's bad, but I find when I talk to most women, the whole thing is on, I need protein. Well, I got to have, so they have like a protein smoothie in the morning with almond milk and a protein powder. Maybe that's it. Or they'll have a bagel with some peanut butter or almond butter on it, thinking I need my protein in the morning. That's just not going to cut it, you guys. For one, you're going to gain weight right there. You're not getting any really nutrients. You might be getting protein, but where's your minerals? Where's your vitamins? Where's your antioxidants? Where's your essential fatty acids? All of those things. Those things are the food for your hormones. So you're not feeding your body what it needs to function. You're feeding it so many grams of protein. You're feeding it these powders that are highly, I have protein powder too, so I'm not bad, but you've got to remember that you don't want to consume a whole bunch of foods that's so far removed from their natural state. So if they're highly processed, if they don't even look like they're natural, what they're supposed to be, sure, it may have an extract in, or it may, this is all natural sources. It's from this or from that. But I mean, you look at it and you're like, well, it looks white and it looks clear. Something, what the hell? How can it possibly be related? Highly processed things. And of course, so that's what I mean. When you're eating, you need to be focused on nutrients, not just filling your body up with food so that you feel satisfied in food, right? And full. That's not what it's about. So all those 5 reasons are the reasons why you have this like belly fat. Now, when our adrenal glands get exhausted, when we are under too much stress, that can affect our thyroid. And so often, many women during this midlife phase actually have thyroid issues that can cause the weight gain or inability to lose weight also. So that's something really important to check into. This is a phase, it does end, things can get better, but you need to start taking care of your body. You need to get it now. You need to start taking action now, because as we age, it's not going to magically get better. If you let yourself go downhill now, that's downhill. I mean, you are going downhill. There's no up, right? 20s and 30s, okay, we could do a lot with our body. We could do crazy things with our body, but I mean, you cannot now. And that's just, it's more important to take care of yourself at this phase of your life so that you can age healthy, so that you can have independence, so that you can move forward in life and still walk, talk, work, have fun, enjoy your life, right? Now, what can you do? Well, I have a great membership starting on November 1st, and it is only $47 a month if you get in before January. And that is what we're working on. We're working on pulling everything together. So giving you all the resources, all the trainings, some recipes, everything you need to know in a step-by-step process in a month-to-month basis, so that you're continually guided, you're continually inspired, you're continually learning, you're continually trying something new. Like we'll try a 3-day juice and smoothie cleanse. We'll talk about intermittent fasting. I'll get guests on as speakers, like interviews, to cover specific areas that I don't know about that might help you on your journey, right? It's all about saying, I am willing, I'm going to do the best I can to keep myself healthy now, feeling good now, and moving towards into the future. Stop the on again, off again. Stop the fad crazy diet. Stop listening to 5 billion other people, or you walk into a bookstore and there's like 6,000 books and you have no idea which one has got what you need. We're also going to be touching, it's really about tuning into you and knowing what works for you. There's no one diet that works for everybody. There's no one thing or one way of doing thing that works for everybody. It's truly, you are unique, yourself in yourself, but you are also the best one to eventually know what works right for you. Once you learn the basics on what are the important foods to add, what are the things I need to get rid of, what is reality right now in this part of my life, how do I want to live, how do I want to feel each day, things like that, right? It's really about tuning into you and really discovering the way of life and how you're going to move through life now and in the future. If you're interested, message me on Facebook, because I'm going to be throwing more information up about this later today. So that's going to be all done online. You can live anywhere, be anywhere in the world. And it's also going to be, you'll be able to, of course, suggest things that you want me to cover and that we all work towards. It's going to be very, very high vibe community, full of wonderful women supporting each other. Women who know exactly what you're going through, can totally understand, are there to support you, are here to guide you, are going through all of this together. So let's get together. Let's start an amazing community and let's get you feeling better. All right. Enjoy.